Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways, Coyote in the Highlands. I hope you are having a beautiful, beautiful day. I want to talk a little bit about the methods and the practices and all the stuff that's the doing, I talk a lot about just relax, let it happen, flow. That's a really good thing. A lot of people really want some help, some triggers with remembering themselves. Remembering to relax, knowing how to get out of a bad thought cycle or rumination or worry or whatever. Well, one of the ways to do this, and I think I'm going to actually put together a channel for this with random release times for videos so that you just have these random 5-minute reminders. One of the things to do is set up little schedules, little timers that just go off that are like, hey, take 3 minutes. Walk around for a minute. 3 minutes, walk. Just go walk 3 minutes if you're at work. If you're at home, just go outside, walk your yard. Walk around your yard. Walk out your driveway, something. Give yourself 3-5 minutes to remember yourself, to relax, to open up to the universe a little bit. This is a really big deal. Remembering to do that, to transform some memory that was painful into a pleasant memory, or to get the charge off of it, to be like, hey, yeah, that was okay. I'm where I am now because of that. I'm okay. Be okay. A fundamental okayness. That is our goal here, right? To be fundamentally okay no matter what is happening. Not necessarily imperturbable. Emotions have a point and a purpose. But to have that fundamental okay. There's this weird deer flying around that's just like going in loops. I don't know if you can even hear it. I also have hummingbirds coming up and down. It's really distracting for my eyes. So that's what I want to get to is where do you go from here with all these little tips and techniques? And basically set timers, set alarms, set multiple alarms. If you're a watch person, the Casio G-Shock watches, the ones that have lots of alarms, those are great for this. Smart watches, sometimes you can do that. With phones, using the actual Google Android timer app allows you an infinite number of timers. You can just set timers for things all the time. You can set multiple alarms for random times in the day. This kind of stuff is really cool. Set yourself timers for doing the processes. Set yourself a 3-minute timer for just sitting down. 6-minute timer for some box breathing. Just that slow breathing. Relax. Let the body sink into stuff. Be present in the moment, okay? Give yourself just a little time. Do this multiple times a day. The biggest problem with this isn't actually the techniques themselves. All the techniques work. All the techniques have stuff that you can play with, modify. There's gold standards. There's stuff that's been researched and studied, and there's stuff that's similar that hasn't. And there's little tricks for your mind that will actually work, like say, impersonalizing things, talking to yourself in the third person, talking about yourself in the third person, or saying this being instead of I, because your mind has different concepts in there, and that's all useful stuff. But the basic idea of all of these practices is to get rid of some stress, to get some positivity, to take away from negative thoughts, patterns, to break the cycle. The only thing you have to do is remember to do it, and that is the hard part, to remember to do it. So set some timers, set some stuff. Maybe, having a device, if you're a device person and you have a phone. I have a phone with me most of the time, so I'm a device person. But I don't like smartwatches. Those don't seem to work so well for me. They're not durable enough. I just break them and I have to charge them all the time, and I don't like all that. I'm a G-Shock person, right? Give me a battery that lasts for 2 to 7 years and a bunch of little timers and stopwatches and stuff. That's better for me. But if you're a device person, maybe I will set up a YouTube channel that has just random stuff, videos, walk through a little meditation for a minute. That's a really good one for me to do. Set random timers, set random things. Putting signs all over that are positive, that's great if you can look at them and be like, hey, gotta do that. That's called greasing the groove. It's a concept that comes from workouts, big workout, muscle stuff, where, for example, if you put a pull-up bar at the door to your office, if you have a home office, or your garage, or your front door, or something, every time you pass by, something you're going to pass by a couple times a day, multiple times a day, every time you pass by, you do 2 pull-ups. Well, in 6 months, you're going to be able to do an insane number of pull-ups because you're not working out. You're not doing pull-ups as sets and workouts and track. You're just doing a couple every day, every couple of hours, multiple times a day, and it just greases the groove and makes it better. Okay? It's kind of like every time you stand up, you do 5 push-ups. Every time you get out of your chair, you do 5 push-ups. Every time you go through the doorway, you do 5. Every time you go to a bathroom, you do 5 push-ups. You just get better at doing push-ups. You're greasing the groove. You're not wearing yourself out, but you're greasing the groove. That's the whole thing. I have a thing that really works well for weight loss and health, where you break a sweat before you put anything in your face except water. Okay? Drinking water is freebie. But anything else that goes in your face, you need to sweat first. You need to get that 3 to 5 minute workout and break a sweat. Elevate your heart rate. That's greasing the groove. You can do the same thing with all of your mental stuff. With your brain, with your mind, with your enlightenment practices, whatever it is, fundamental okayness. To get your okayness on, you take that positive thought process, or feeling gratitude, or picking up the trash, or whatever it is that you're doing. There's a whole bunch of techniques. I've talked about a bunch of them. 3 minutes of relaxation, whatever it is, you grease the groove. You do them several times a day, and having signs up around your house or your office that remind you of that is great if you take if you look at it and you take the time to do it. They can become background and kind of inefficient if you don't pay attention to them. There's greasing the groove and there's distracting from your day. You know, a sign that's right in front of your monitor, well, you're going to see it all the time. So you don't really have a method, a grease the groove method to pay attention to it, to know when it's time to do it. You know, every time you get up, every time some kind of distraction happens, that kind of thing, take a moment and release. Just think. You know, if you don't have a negative thought in your head, that's great. Don't drag one in. Stay positive, but be in the moment and be like, yeah, it's okay. I like this. You know, give yourself that moment. Give yourself that 3 to 5 minutes, even if it's 30 seconds, even if it's just 2 breaths, because you can change your life in 2 breaths several times a day. Give yourself those moments. Give yourself those times. Grease that groove. Let me know if I get enough engagement, comments and likes and whatever to the videos. Let me know if that kind of thing seems like a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and post about it on Twitter and Instagram and whatever. But I think a channel that just does that, has randomly releasing videos with ideas, that might be a really good idea as well. So grease the groove, guys. Figure out a way to do this multiple times a day. Randomly, whenever you get up, whenever you go to the car, whenever you go out to lunch, all the things, whenever you're moving. Stay sideways.